open up. You OPN, bitch, you won't BBM.
I never start a business for the sake of money. I think anybody who starts a business to make money is already doomed, unless, of course, that is driven by passion and interest. So to me, you do something because it brings out your creative juices. Business to me is an outlet for creativity, and if you do something well, you will be rewarded, and that's where the financial come in. So to me, success is a byproduct, and that byproduct success can be measured in many different ways, whether it's financial. To me, I like to measure it from a social impact perspective, which is another topic in itself.
You mentioned that on your PhD you focused on immigrant entrepreneurs. I'm immigrant, so that's my personal interest.
Me too.
Exactly, you are too. So, do you think there are any certain features, special characters, or tendencies that can describe immigrant entrepreneurship? Like, what makes them different from Canadian ones?
That's a great question. They are hardworking, very resilient. One of the things that I believe is differentiator is their cultural backgrounds, and having an opportunity to come into a different country and play with the culture of the country they are starting a business as an immigrant and the cultures that they've brought from elsewhere. That is a creativity aspect of it, is that there's products, services that might be of interest to a new population that can be drawn upon from their cultural context. And you see examples of that everywhere. I mean, in Toronto, we have restaurants, cuisines from all over the world. And that's a great example of immigrants bringing in their cultural context to start something here. A lot of them may do it for their labor integration so that they can sustain themselves here, but others certainly do it to also share something about their past that they want to keep alive.
You know, what I feel is that Canada is the place where you can come in, you can integrate, society will let you to integrate, and at the same time, you can keep your own cultural heritage. You do not necessarily need to change yourself to quit if you're Ukrainian or Slovenian or American, doesn't matter. You still can keep this heritage, you still can remain Ukrainian, you can have those roots, but at the same time you can become a part of the Canadian culture. I think that is something that drives lots of people here specifically, because not lots of countries can create this environment for immigrants.
Right.
And Canada can.
And I think to that point, not only are we as Canadians given the opportunity to preserve the different cultural heritage, but to celebrate it and share it. And I think that's where social entrepreneurship comes in, and immigrant entrepreneurship is tied to that, in that immigrant entrepreneurs can use business formation as a way to share their cultural heritage and in some way preserve it. And if you think about pierogies, the reason we'll keep eating them in 100 years is not only because they're really tasty, but also because people will make them and sell them and ensure that others have opportunity to eat pierogies. And so it's a way to preserve culture as well. And in our society, business is a great way to ensure that. So I think that, back to the question about the characteristics of an immigrant entrepreneur, I do believe not all of them, but a number of them who start something culturally related are driven for the preservation and sharing of a distinct activity or practice.
Could you please tell us a little bit about other projects that you are currently involved in?
We are looking at developing a retreat for families to come together and really be change makers, and really focusing on newcomer families. So this is a project that my wife and I have started about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. We started putting the legs behind it, and we're continuously bringing in new stakeholders. There's a lot of challenges along the way, but our hope is to create a facility or a space in that facility where particularly caters to multilingual, multicultural populations, and also of different ages. Because that's the other thing we found that it's very interesting when we talk about change makers. There's a lot of programs for youth. There aren't as many programs for adults, and there aren't many programs that combine the different generations and different ages to work together to do skill development and changing. So we want to create a space for families and for people of different generations to come together and do that as well. And in the process, learn more about the culture and the place they now live in as immigrants, and help them develop skills that will make them better integrated and better contributors to the Canadian cultural project, if you will. Right? So that's a project I'm involved with, and then likewise, I've been involved with in a corporate side of things in terms of doing more change making or embedding more change making into architecture of human resources programs. This is something that more and more people are asking for, especially millennials. They want to impact, they want to give back. This is something that our planet is asking for. We need to be more sustainable, we need to know how to contribute, and I think this is another important project. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but the process is what drives me, and I'm excited as we take the next steps.
And recently we've been talking a lot about technology and the artificial intelligence, apps, and the whole digitalization. And when I went through your Twitter page, I think I saw the post where you encouraged people to spend more time with their friends, with kids, with families, instead of just spending time with the screen. So my question, I guess, is what's your attitude towards technology, towards this digitalization of the community, of communication, friendship?
You're absolutely right. We are human, and as humans, we need social interactions. So no matter how advanced technology gets, we still need social interactions. We still need the present interaction that brings about new reactions, that draws emotions in ways that I don't think technology will ever be able to do. And I believe that because I want that future. I don't want a future where we are able to get from technology what we obtain from relationships, like trust and community. So to me, there is a role for technology, but it's not all encompassing. It's not to take away. So to me, it's very important that we make time to see people. We make time to eat together. We make time to move away from technology and to give it its space. Okay. So there's a lot of things that technology can do, and there's a lot of limitations to it as well. And it's not for the producers, creators of technological applications to decide that. It's for people themselves to be reflective of what is that they're after, and to consider that technology doesn't always have the answer to that.
I want to ask about the life mission. Do you have any? What's your opinion on that?
It's something that I ask myself constantly, and to remind myself sometimes of why I do things and what drives me. To me, it's been about helping people achieve their best. Help people achieve greatness is what drives me, because I do believe there's a lot of capacity within people to do good, and not just to be taken along a journey that somebody else decides for them. And I think there's great value as a society in that, to enable individuals to do more and to achieve a higher level of growth, development, happiness, quality of life. And that's, I think, what drives me is seeing others achieve greatness, makes me a better person.
Thank you. Well, thank you a lot for having this chat with me. The whole chat was about impacts, and if we're talking about impact, I think you impacted me a lot. Like, I feel, I feel that. And well, thank you for sharing your experience. Thank you for sharing your philosophy. That's extremely valuable. And I mentioned before that, like, I think that what you are doing has a tremendous value. Your philosophy, your attitude, and well, I'm wishing you just to keep on doing that, to have even more impacts, to create more values with your new projects, with your family. And well, it's not that common that you meet such an inspired and motivated and open and optimistic person like you. And I just wish this world, I guess, to have more people like that.
That's very kind of you. Thank you. And thank you for the program.